Justin, EquinEdge, Fairgrounds, 1 minute to post. We're gonna come right on after that first race. We're starting here in race two. Looks like a two-horse race. Early did look like some chalk, but I do think you cannot dismiss Lulu's Magic. Third time out for Wilson. Adds Torres and not Guerrero in the irons, and they are 2 for 10. Coming out of a 62 SOR kind of allowance, taking a big drop here into much easier on the state break, going to be the controlling pace of the race. And, I think fits here. Sister Ella does look tough in the exacted, though. It does look like 4-7 or 7-4. No preference, race three. They came off the turf. We did a lot of work there, and we're sad to see that. So we will jump to race four. My top pick here was Julia's Warrior. I know only 9%, but does show up as the second Scotty pick. And, Concepcion rides for La Rosa, second off the claim for La Rosa. Hits at 16% in that scenario. And you're going to get a good price. You're going to get a rail trip going 6 furlongs and 2 back. This one did show some ability, stalking and stopped in the wind there. So second off the claim here. Axel is started to pick it up, Concepcion, a little bit in the meeting and now has 7 wins. So he is hot of late. And I think you could see an upset here. So don't forget about the one in this race. Onasa, I do think, is a tough favorite, though. Loveberry rides for Ravelli. Larry going for the lead and the training title at the meet. It looks like he's ready to show up here. Steve Asmussen currently leading, but Larry right behind. So, the 4 does come from Open Company, now drops into State Bred, been racing kind of all over. This is Open Company, a low level bottom claimer, but does take a big drop here out of 56s and 60s. So it does look like the tough one to beat, going to be 6-5, but Julius Warrior, my top pick. And I think, not a bad exacta there as well. So, in race 5, they also came off the turf, ends up being a 4-horse field. Looked like a 2-horse race between Curie and Executor. I actually loved Curie on the turf, so kind of sad to see that come off, but we'll pass there. We're going to jump, over to really the late pick 4 is where I saw my biggest, my biggest kind of opinion here. And there's a cheap pick 4 ticket for $10. Nothing exciting. The card didn't look anywhere, like I thought it would with being on the turf. I'm going to stick with the 5. I thought the 5 had a big shot as my single in race 9. But if we jump back to race 8, I'm against gunmetal here. Brad Cox, Florent Giroux, first out, is in the 10 posts and slides in 1 post to the 9. You can win from out there, but it's not common. You got to be much the best. The GSR is not great. It's only a 58. Going to take a lot of money at the betting window. Morning line at 3-2. I thought this was a vulnerable favorite. I think probably does go off as the favorite. Chase's Magic would be the other one we'll talk about, as well as Fanatical the 1. But, I thought that this was a vulnerable favorite here, and you can maybe get around gunmetal. So I was looking at the 1 and 2. Big GSR on the 2, Chase's Magic. We'll start there. Second time Tom Amos, Pedroza rides. Big GSR of 83, best in the field. Second time out, had a solid debut in the second and the 54 there. Pedroza rode. So he's having a good meeting behind Loveberry and Jose at the top of the jock standings, but has some experience in a big player here. Really could show up. The other one that I think you can't dismiss as a firster is Will Walden's, Fanatical and Axel rides. We talked about him a little ago. This one comes off a really nice work there. You can see this one's working well here. It's very fit. It looks like for debut, has a strong, steady work there. And that inside speed can be dangerous going 6. So I'm passing on the 10. I love, the 1 or 2 on top here. And then if we get to, kind of maybe our strongest play of the day, this race came off the turf. And so the 5 has 2 wins and 2 tries on the dirt going 5.5. And one of those wins, you can go all the way back to Fairgrounds last winter and probably a similar situation. 1 stocking the pace, and had to, face much tougher. That was the 76, dropped into a 62 there at Hawthorne and is now, 4th off the layoff. You go 2 back on the turf and ran a good race sprinting. So tossed the last out, going 2 churns. And, I think this one going to the dirt has a great spot here. I thought that had a good shot on the turf, but Cohen rides for block. They hit it 28%. This one's hit the board in 26 of 33 tries. Well, she's going to be tough here, I believe. So that's where I landed as a single in the sequence. Again, a very cheap ticket, but I think has the potential to pay something nice. If you can get the 5 home here, have a little bit of value on the morning line. In race number 10, I thought Hoosier Philly would be my top pick here, is where I also thought about singling, but this did look like a 2-horse race to me between Nom de Plume and Hoosier Philly. Hoosier Philly does show up, though, here for Tom Amos and Morales. And I talked to Oli this morning, and he mentioned this is one where these horses win as the second pick, the top pace, the top GSR, the top win is the second pick. A very limited subset of data, but shows that these win at about 70%. So against the favorite a little bit with the one on top, but I do think they're both players. But I'm landing on Hoosier Philly here. Comes out of much classier races, working, it looks like lights out for Tom Amos, and looks like we'll get a price at 7-2. So, I thought the late pick 4 maybe got a little bit of value. Wouldn't go too crazy today on the card coming off the turf. I'm expecting we'll probably have turf the next couple of days as well. But we'll be around. We're going to definitely be capping for the dirt if they come up. And we'll see what happens the next couple of days. I wish everybody great holidays. Hope they had a good Christmas. Happy Boxing Day. And we'll be back later with tomorrow's analysis.